Podcast City.
Get on it.
Podcast City.
Yeah, what's up? This is the Hurricane Corona Chaos. Can you believe it, Milton? I screwed up today, man. I thought it was episode 15. This is episode 16. And we are putting in work at this radio station. And I'll tell you what, a lot of the good action happens with the cameras off. And to experience what we just experienced in this studio, we couldn't tell anybody. You're going to find out tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, today's show couldn't be more diametrically opposite than this time tomorrow. Think about it. We are talking about serious stuff. Talking about 3 hours of taking notes. We started doing notes at 2 o'clock this afternoon, 3 o'clock.
We did.
Took a little break and then got back into it again. Okay? And tomorrow, it's going to be total debauchery. People are going to be calling. People are going to be calling my family saying Michael needs help. You got to get him. You got to get him something or somewhere.
They're not already doing that?
No, they're not.
Okay.
No, no. Good one, Keith. I like it. But today, Corona Chaos, episode 16. The title of the show is "To Mask or Not to Mask." You feel me? 82 days. The state of Massachusetts has been in some type of quarantine. 82 days in Massachusetts. Okay? The coronavirus hit us, crept up, bing, boom, boom, in the bushes, in the weeds. Nobody's seeing it. Nobody's detecting it. First layer of security gets by. Second layer of security gets by. Checks and balances failing all the way from China to Italy to our borders. And it left 30% of the world's cases in our great country. 30% of the cases. And it has divided us as much, if not more, as we've been divided before. Because there are stats out there, okay? 80% of Democrats are wearing masks. 40% of Republicans are wearing masks. If you look at the states that are opened up, they are Republican states. If you look at the states that are closed down, it is Democratic states. And this is a Quinnipiac poll. This ain't no run-of-the-mill fly-by-night. You know, they're one of the greatest polling institutions in the world. Okay? Have been used to factor presidential races up, down, and they're not always right, but they are mostly. But 80% of Democrats are wearing masks and 40% of Republicans are. You buying them numbers, Keith?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because earlier today I saw a Kaiser poll from May 22nd, so a few days ago. And when it breaks down, 47% of Republican men, 49% say they wear their masks, 43% think the president should be wearing it, and not women. Republican women, 68% are wearing their masks. 53% think the president should. Then when you go down to Democrats by gender and independents by gender, 68% is the lowest of any of them saying they're wearing it or the president should be wearing it.
Like I said, I'm looking at pictures of Georgia and Florida, and these people are like hanging over each other at a pool the size of the studio. And listening, I'm about opening up, but I'm not going to like Lollapalooza anytime soon. You feel me, Milt?
Absolutely.
I mean, just because they've opened up. Did you see some of the pictures of those pool parties, Milton, that they had today all over social media?
No, I haven't.
In Georgia? Had to be thousands and thousands of people around like a backyard pool. Hanging over one another, sweating on one another.
It was a hot day today, though. Now, Keith.
Yeah, it was hot. But this is down in Georgia. I mean, let me ask you a question, Milt. You're a big Trump fan.
Yes,
You're a big you're Constitution protector. Okay. Now, if you lived in Florida, would you be hitting a jam-packed nightclub tonight if you could, or would you be conscientious about the corona?
I would rather stay home and not be at a club right now.
Rather say, yeah, that's my point. Like, that's like, me and Milton are completely different. He's a God-fearing man, likes Donald Trump, thinks a couple of, conspiracy theories, not over the top with it. Me, I don't believe in any conspiracy theories, okay? I think the conspiracy theory is getting people to believe in them, to distract them, certainly. I'm a Democrat. I am not voting for Trump, okay? I wish I had a better suggestion. I wish I had a better nominee than a guy who I think might be too old and maybe lacks the appropriate energy, and there might be too much tape on him doing some creepy stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, that's how people get elected today, man. It's like, let me catch somebody doing something worse, and it's sad, but it's created and driven by the media, and that's, campaigns are in the gutter. That's why a lot of good people don't want to get involved in politics.
And it's great. Getting back to what you were showing with Georgia and Florida, I saw one yesterday in Myrtle Beach where they're hanging on one another, passing drinks, and in the background there is a sign that says, "Please social distance." I mean,
listen. Once you let that barn door open and the weather's nice, it's gone.
It's gone, absolutely.
Like, that's why I'm almost thinking, like the governor, maybe open this up a little quicker, because people are just going to be defying the rules, and you don't want to get too many people in this country getting too comfortable with defying the rules. You feel me?
oh yeah,
People have been cooped up in a house. When are we going to see the first riot? When are we going to see the first time people are out drinking with their friends again? You go from. I drank less during this corona than I have in the last 20 years. And I've told you, and once or twice was with you, and I told you that my tolerance is down. You know what I mean? Significantly.
we're the exception and not the norm.
What?
We're definitely the exception and not the norm.
You think people are drinking more?
Yep. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd love to see package store receipts and all, but I mean, they're taking it home. You can't go anywhere and drink.
I don't know. I mean, you walk the streets of Providence and Boston on a Friday night, and there are a lot of dudes out there, a lot of people drinking, man. I don't know. I mean, I know that people at home that are hitting it heavy.
That's what I said. You and I are the exception, not the norm. We're drinking less during this.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if the average person is drinking more. I'm not ready to give that thing yet. But like I said, like a snake in the grass, we missed the first weight line of defense. The second, it sneaks up on us. The coronavirus got to jump on us, and that's why we're burdened with 30% of the cases in this country. And thank God we got the nurses and the frontline medical workers that we do. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? I'm talking to you, okay? Thank you from the bottom of my heart. The American nurse is a hero, a real-life Rosie the Riveter. When duty called for their country and their community, they answered the bell on the first ring, and eventually they're going to knock out a KO this coronavirus. Day after day, grind after grind, the American nurse, I salute you with the ultimate amount of pride and respect and the ultimate amount of gratitude. God bless you. You saved this country from catastrophic numbers. Because when you talk about 30% of the cases in the USA, the death rate in the United States, it has been managed. Right? What are we? 2%? Where are we at right now? I mean, out of the. All right. So we got. We got 1.8 million cases in the U.S. and we got 100,000 deaths. And mind you, 80+% are people that are over the age of what? 65, Keith?
65 and older. 8 out of 10 deaths, and that's
Sure.
a stat right from the Center of Disease Control.
And 65% of them in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts of the deaths are people in long-term assisted care facilities that might not have survived the flu, that might not have survived anything that came through. But the American nurse, when your country called and you were thrust in the bowels of the biggest health crisis in this country in 100+ years, okay? You rolled up your sleeves, you put your scrubs on, you went to work, and you punched it right in the face, and you halted its momentum. So everybody out there today, walking around, okay? You're a frontline American metal worker, okay? Tip your cap to them. Tip your cap to them. Because everything broke down in this country except in dealing with this crisis. Not enough masks, not enough ventilators. It took too long to get detected. Error and misplanning and this and that, and Obama did this and Trump didn't do this and blah, 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 blah. All I know is nobody had done their job until the American nurse stepped up and did it.
Yep. While everyone else was
That's real
complaining,
talk.
the American nurses said, "We got a job to do.
Shift
Go,
after
bitch,
shift.
leave us alone."
And they did it, and they grinded. They grinded on that, And for that, I mean, they should be commended with the utmost. Any student loan, any debt, $25,000, whatever, let's wipe that out, okay? Do the right thing. Don't give the money to the pigs, okay, and the CEOs who got 200-foot boats and who have condos in 40 different cities and aren't paying the right kind of taxes because their businesses are registered in Antigua or Panama or wherever else they do. Give that money. You take care of the people that were on the front lines. Period. The end.
Yeah, I mean,
And if we don't, it'll be the scourge of this country that they don't.
I mean, last week I read an article. CVS got $43 million in stimulus money, and they gave it back. And you know what? That's great. The thing is, that's a shame that they even got it to begin with, because
I don't have a problem with CVS getting money. I don't have a problem with it. As long as they keep the shelf stocked with gloves and disinfectants and wipes, do whatever they can, pay their employees to work triple time, as long as keeping us fed with the protective products that we so badly need, because nobody else did.
I don't know. I never even thought about it. I just thought about a
Yeah, no, I hear
corporation
ya.
that got
Sure.
$43 million. I mean, the LA Lakers.
CVS has a medical angle as
Yeah, they
well.
do.
So, and that's it. But good for them if they gave it back. Okay, you can't take it with you, can you, Milton?
No, you can't.
You can't take it with you. Okay, worldwide deaths, worldwide cases, worldwide recoveries. Okay, there are 5.7 million cases in the world, with 350,000 plus deaths. Okay. In the United States, there is 1.7 million cases. A third of the world's cases are in this country. Bothers me to this day every time I read it. 100,000 people dead. 469 people, 69,000 that have recovered, right? Out of 1.1 million that are fully recovered.
1.7, yes, correct.
Massachusetts, 93,000 people with the virus, 6,300 dead. Out of those 6,300 dead, Milton, because we give you the facts and the figures straight here. Out of the 6,300 dead in Mass, 3,929 of them were living in nursing homes, in assisted care facilities. That's where you went to die during this. That will be the horror film of Coronas. It will be some overrun, overworked, underfunded, money-driven nursing home where just absolute darkness came into. I believe that.
And there was an article in the Sunday papers, I read in a couple of them, about a veterans home in Holyoke. where I don't remember exactly, but I mean they got hit hard too. I wish I had the thing in front of me right now.
Anybody gets sent home, veteran or not, shame on them. In Fall River, there are 1,200 cases, 25 deaths. To mask or not to mask? That is the question. We're going to talk about it, man. We're going to talk about it. Trump is running a campaign and he's being dismissive of the mask, and it's working. It's working. Isn't it good for Donald Trump politically to be that anti-mask wearing, I'm John Wayne, I'm here, I'm not going to put a mask on like that little pussy Joe Biden did? I mean, that plays to his base, right?
He is, more than anyone, he's a transformative figure in politics as far as he tapped into a constituency that we didn't know was there. The thing is, he hasn't expanded his base. So he has to hold it intact, and specifically in specific states.
But when you turn your base out like he did, and when you turn your base out like Obama did, you win. All right? You win playing to your base. You want to get every clam on the seashore that is in your base, in your bucket. And it's worked for him.
It did, and the other thing that elected him, and we can talk about another time, apathy elected
this is
him.
not, we're not talking about, this is not a referendum of Donald Trump.
No, exactly.
What we're saying is he brilliantly motivates his base.
Yes, he does.
What?
No question about that.
Whether you like him or not, he can motivate his base. Now, he's not going to sit down for dinner with his base. He's not going to invite his base into his house. He don't want his kids dating any of his base. We know all of that, okay? But he is great. The hats, the locker up, the guttural speeches, you know, he winds them up and he motivates them. And, you know, with the voting structure the way it is, you know, it's going to be interesting, okay? Now, but my point being is, okay, Trump's White House, official White House like their statement, their policy is, masks are good, wear them. But you have the president, who is the head of that, who refuses to wear masks, who absolutely refuses to wear the mask, and, okay, like a lot of people out there, I'm not going to be told that I got to wear a mask. Okay? This is a land of liberties and freedoms, okay? And I'm electing, I'm not going to wear the mask. I'm going to be John Wayne. I'm not going to look like I'm timid, like I'm scared, like I'm shook. Donald Trump is going to try to walk through this pandemic with his hair blown back, his shoulders back, and walk around like he's the King Peacock. Okay? That's what he's going to try to do. Now, do people are they going to look at him as being irresponsible? Showing bad leadership? Because, you know, when Mike Pence, body man, and the president's body man, and all these people in their inner circle get corona, you shouldn't have a mask on. People that close to you, okay? You know, but he's not doing it. The White House policy is wear masks. That's what you're hearing from the people that are their doctors. That's what they're saying. But and they say it's a campaign strategy. And they say that it's working. That it's working. That Donald Trump is coming across more manly, more presidential, all of it. Keith, for somebody who hates him, talk to me.
But numbers I saw in that Kaiser poll, the independents who are going to decide the election.
Well, we're not talking about independents. We're talking about his role. Okay? Do you think it's a role, or do you think it's going to work for him?
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
With polling showing independents favor wearing masks, independents decide elections.
Okay.
So, as time goes on, like right now, I don't think it's working with independents.
Really?
I don't.
Really?
I mean, I have a poll taken when 65% or more of independents say he should be wearing it, and he's not.
Did you see the picture of Trump without a mask and Biden with one today that the rest of the world has seen on CNN?
Yes, the laying of the wreath, one in Delaware with Biden.
If you had to take a picture of one candidate, to put on, would you take the picture of Biden today with the mask on or Trump without?
So that's where it comes into a loaded question because
Come on,
you're
kid,
asking a question.
no,
You're asking a
You're
question.
a political operative. You're a political operative. You've sat in many campaign war rooms. Do you want Mike Rogers walking around with a mask on, or do you want him walking tall and walking strong?
During a pandemic, when everyone else is being told when you support telling people they should wear it, then absolutely. And this is during a pandemic.
And that's what the focus group is going to say for real.
This
For
is
real.
during a COVID.
I mean, have you ever seen fucking John Wayne in a mask?
No.
Have you ever seen fucking Superman in a mask? Have you ever seen fucking Michael Jordan in a fucking mask or fucking Bill Clinton in a mask? I haven't seen fucking Obama in a mask. You know, I disagree. And politically, we are aligned like brothers from another mother.
And it all depends where you run those kind of ads. It all depends when you use a targeted base.
Like I said again, he is manipulating his base at an incredibly high level. An incredibly high level. So that picture that we stared at the screen today, I said, oh shit, Biden looks like such a pussy. Him and his wife sitting there, blah, blah, blah. So that picture that they had, you know, you think if you're looking to win voters, you would take the Biden with the mask.
If you're Biden, you take the thing and say, here we are during a public health emergency.
I know.
And
I
you
know
got this
that's
guy.
how you explain it.
Yeah.
I know that's how you explain it. But me and you know, sitting in a war room with the candidate, we're going to say, take that mask off. You look like a pussy. No?
Does it look like it? Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Is it absolutely
Okay,
necessary?
that's what I'm
Absolutely.
talking about. We're talking about like a 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade education, right? Most of the voters in this country are at, right? Maybe high school degree level.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, I just think it plays to his people. You know? Listen to me. He knows the TV game better than anybody. In my opinion. Oh, how else do we have this raging lunatic as a president? Give me a reason, Keith. I mean, give me a reason.
Lucked out in the fact that he had somebody with 30 years worth of
It
baggage.
had nothing to do with luck, Keith. It did not have to do with luck. He destroyed every Republican candidate. They were eliminated. Like he slayed every one of them. It was to watch. You know what I mean? It was like the Goths ravaging the Roman Empire. It was like they were he devoured them. I mean, he's got 80,000 people watching him speak and 20,000 people in line. His hard support, we both know politics. Hard support and soft support, right? My father had hard support, I would think. Some of the other people we talked about today, I think, have maybe a little softer support, over a broader range. We know the difference, right?
Yes.
All right, tell me, a hard supporter is 5 times more likely to vote than a soft supporter.
Yes, and no matter what you put in front of them, a hard supporter is unlikely to be swayed. Very unlikely.
Thank you. I'm not saying he's right. As a matter of fact, he could be irresponsible not wearing a mask as the president. But he ain't putting a mask on, dude. It ain't happening with him. You know, who knows? Maybe fate will come back and bite him in the ass. Okay? But it is a detailed strategy. Where is it in my notes? It is a detailed strategy. White House not pushing for masks, okay? Even though White House policy says, look, Trump mocks Biden for wearing a mask, and the tweet went so viral, he retweeted it twice. Don't wear a mask. So this is the president of a country, okay? Cracking on a established senator, former vice president, for wearing a mask during a pandemic.
This is where we've come in the era.
This is like we're in the fucking apocalypse here, bro. I don't know. I don't know if I should still wear a mask. I don't know. Charlie Baker tells me to wear a mask. I never see the motherfucker with a mask on. I never see him with a mask on. His lieutenant governor is throwing a bash out of the house on Memorial Day. In a multi-million-dollar cul-de-sac, in a multi-million-dollar community. And the lieutenant governor, Polito, is throwing a fucking bash. And she don't even care about hiding it. Turtle Boy had it. Turtle Boy, I saw it on Facebook. Are you kidding me? If they're going to tell you to wear a mask, wear the mask themselves. Donald Trump ain't telling you to wear a mask, so I have less of a problem with him not wearing one. You know? Than when I see Baker and Polito, hey, you know, I want to see it. You know? I want to see, what do they say? They want to see a little skin, right? They want to see, get a little skin in the game.
Practice what you preach.
A lot of it, you know? So the numbers, we're still carrying through the world's cases. We talked about the American frontline working an amazing job that she's done. We've talked about Georgia reopening, and although they're testing more, the numbers aren't changing much. I want to see, right, Mel, the numbers after the foolishness I've seen online about people hanging over one another, like dancing like a centimeter away from one another, like 1,000 of them on the side of a pool.
Passing drinks, sipping drinks from sharing drinks.
Yeah. Listen, at another day and a time, I'd be right in it. Well, I would be. Maybe a year or two ago. I'm a little different now. But I want to see the numbers from when people let their hair down. Because they let it down on Memorial Day.
And it seems a lot of states where they've decided to open up, is when that's right
The
after
two
that where you
kids
see
from
the cases spike.
The two kids from the Durfee podcast said that their parents just let them out of jail recently.
Yeah.
You know, so people, you know, talking about all kinds of old ladies from everywhere. So I want to see what the numbers look like after the Memorial Day smashing of bikinis and muscles and tattoos and all that stuff that you see on a redneck pool party video. We talked about the why people are doing that. There is a vaccine virus. There's a vaccine to this virus that they're saying both Democrats and Republicans. So if they can agree on this, there must be some kind of validity to it. Because they couldn't agree on what time of day it is or whether it was knockout. But there are people that are optimistic, Keith, about this vaccine. They're saying by December. Okay? What do you know about this vaccine?
Moderna, they're a company right out of Massachusetts. They've been working on it real hard. And before that, Oxford had been with Imperial College.
You've been talking about this Oxford vaccine forever. Is this part of this Moderna thing or no?
No, it's two different. This is a global thing, so everybody's.
So we're gonna race for the vaccine,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Are you gonna get the vaccine?
As of right now, no. Simply because I haven't showed any symptoms. Yeah. I've been feeling all right. If it comes down, you know, we'll see how I'm feeling in 6. I can't predict how I'm going to be feeling in 6 months from now. Yeah. I haven't got tested yet. I said I was thinking about doing it, but I haven't because I felt all right and haven't experienced anything with people I've been around either.
Are you getting a vaccine, Milton?
I stand with Keith.
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel fine.
Yeah. I'm not getting it either.
I mean, if I test positive,
I'm not getting it either. There will be no vaccine for me. No. No way. No vaccine and fuck the new normal. I'm not playing that game, Jack. No vaccine. No, my vaccine is. Sadly, and I got a daughter, so shame on me for saying this. All the booze, whiskey, drugs, and cigarettes, and all the toxins I put in my body for 20 years. That's my vaccine. That's the old school vaccine. What are you laughing at? You know I fucking believe that, Keith.
That's why I'm laughing, because no matter how many times you hear it, it's still just as...
What, you think I'm nuts for that?
No.
What?
No, I know I know you're nuts, so that's besides the point. No, it's just...
Your grandmother gave you a shot of brandy to take care of the flu or the cold, right? A couple of shots of brandy, right? Right? You know, germs were considered good because it built up your immune system, right?
Yeah.
Okay? You know, I've accrued a lot of germs. Done a lot of things I shouldn't have. I think that's I haven't been to the doctor in 20 years. 20 years. Know what my doctor is? My doctor for my cabeza, Milton.
There you go.
All right? My cabeza doctor
Confidence in yourself.
is you, which is scary as shit, okay? And our walks every day. That's the doctor for my head. And that's the doctor for my body. Being creative, thinking, having a stress release. You know, I lived a crazy ass life. I mean, I'm doing pretty good with the Grays, right, Mel?
Absolutely, man.
You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, dude. You're still looking at me like I'm nuts.
No, I'm just listening at this point.
So let me ask you a question. Would you think a human body that has been exposed to all types of germs and all types of bacteria, I mean, drinking out of pots at the fountain, can you imagine that today? Did your mother bring you a bottle of water after Little League practice?
Nope.
She said, don't drink at that fountain right there.
Absolutely.
Rundle's Park, Kennedy Park. Could there be anything more germ infested? Muddy. Okay? Bathroom toilets. How we lived. We shared a soda 3 ways. Give me a bite of your sandwich was said cavalierly 20 years ago that you were going to give a friend a bite of your sandwich. If you ask somebody for a bite of their fucking sandwich now, they would try to check you with the Corrigan, dude. They'd be like, get me away from this motherfucker. He is crazy. For real. I think so. Do you think that germs, if you're exposed to more germs, your spotty and tight might be...
Well, it depends on how your immune system is.
What?
All depends on your immune system. Somebody who's
Yeah,
sick.
exactly, but you don't think that builds your immune system? Why did my mother tell me that germs were good for me? What?
I don't know.
Did your mother tell you that?
No.
No?
I got not so. I lived the life the opposite with the, you're going outside, put a hat on, and then it took me till I was about 15, 16 to realize, it's the germs in the air that make you sick, not whether you go out in a hat without a hat.
Yeah. But were you playing in sandboxes with other kids? Were you sleeping in other kids' houses? I mean, were you co-mingling,
Yeah, and I mean, I never had any major sicknesses until I got older with allergies. I got the flu more. I never got the flu as a kid.
You remember Bubble Boy? You remember that movie John Travolta was Bubble Boy?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're not playing that today. That's what I think. I'm old school, okay? I am old school. I think a certain amount of germs are good for you, especially when you're young, okay? I think fresh air is good for you. Getting out there, seeing people, I think that's good for you, okay? I think salt water and salt air have unbelievable medicinal values. Unbelievable. If my foot was sore, go to salt water. If I had a thing on my thing, no, you're not going to the doctor. It's big enough. Go to the salt water. Okay? The things my mother and my grandparents told me, I've lived by, and I'm glad that I have, because I believe that I'm right. I think that people would be healthier walking the beach as opposed to sitting on their couch clicking through Netflix for 2 hours. Right?
Yes.
I mean, what could be more dirtier than your remote control of your TV?
About this right here.
All right. What about that thing that you're buried into?
Your phone. Yeah.
Right? I mean, are you buying the salt? Are you buying any type of medicinal value for salt water and salt air and stuff like that?
I believe in the idea people should be out more,
Yeah.
which as a society, we've lost that. I mean,
Yeah. So you don't think if you got a rash on your foot or a cut on the bottom of your foot, that putting in salt water will help it?
I know it will burn it for a minute. Yeah, I've had I avoid going to
It's
the
not going to
doctor.
burn. When's the last time you've been in the water? Have you been in the water at the beach anytime soon? You go on a lot of vacations.
When I was in Florida.
Yeah. So you go in the water.
Yes.
My mother used to. We had a cut in our foot. We had something. Boom! I was in that water. That water was like pediatrics for me. You remember pediatrics on South Main Street? Dr. Delaney and the rest of them, Dr. Penn and Dr.
Penn.
Lemire and all the guys down there. Talk about germ infested. How was that waiting room? People on top of one another, coughing on one another. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know. And listen, I'm not saying that my way is the right way, but I got to keep it real with them. That's all. You know, if I was a president, I would think that for me to set an example, I would be wearing a mask. Please don't confuse what I'm saying is winning for him as to what is right, what is just, or what I would do. Okay? We can be diametrically opposed politically, but I can say he's putting himself in a better position. Because that's what the debate and the dialogue is all about. You know what I mean? You know, I'm a Democrat. I voted for one Republican in my life, and I'll never tell you who. Okay? But I can say, you know, Trump's people did a better job than Hillary's people. Hillary's people had this, like, election dream team, and, you know, they choked. They blew it. It was all set up to win. Trump closed like a thoroughbred at the Kentucky Derby and win in the last 3 or 4 swing states. Okay? We're going to see. I just think his political operas that are telling him, open it up. The country needs sports. It needs the NFL. Open it up. Don't let him see you wear a mask. You're John Wayne. Blah, blah, blah. In their ear. You know what I mean? Just like James Carville would be doing in Bill Clinton's ear.
Yes.
You know? Same thing.
And if you won with a strategy, you try to keep going with it as long as you can.
Because his poll numbers were bad. We're getting bad. His poll numbers, Trump's poll numbers, he was pissed off. He was full of, you hear what Carville said to Trump about his poll numbers? That his election committee was scam artists, that they have luxury yachts and boats, and anybody who works harder for politics doesn't have time to ride a boat, he should fire all of them. It's Carville said. And he's married to one of the top Republican.
He was chief of staff to Vice President Cheney.
So that's about as conservative as it could possibly be. So the mixed signals, are the mixed signals dangerous, Milton? You know, where everywhere you hear somebody's telling you to wear a mask, but when you see a governor and you see a president, they don't have it on. Is that dangerous?
I don't know if it's dangerous. It's what you believe in.
Sure, but shouldn't you do something if the government tells you it's good for you? You got to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? They have the best doctors.
Yeah, but what if?
I don't. I don't think my government tries to hurt me.
Yeah.
I don't.
Now, what is scary with this whole thing throughout is when you have Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx on there talking, and then they go right to some member of the White House, and they ask them about that, and they either don't know what they said or they just say something totally different. That
mixed messages are bad.
Yeah, when his health team and
That's
his
why
White House team are not on the same page, that's what's scary.
Yeah, but he's doing it as a strategy, which I think is working for him. Sadly, I think it's working for him. I saw that picture they were biting with that mask on, which was too big, and his wife had the same thing on, and I was like, "Oh no!" And then they see Trump walking like he's the king of England, you know, the ginger, you know, walking through like, okay, let's rock and roll. I don't know. I do not know. You know, we talk about the mask. The positive things about masks is it helps reduce infection. It helps reduce infection and transmission. Is that correct?
It's correct.
I've heard different things.
It helps reduce, not prevent, reduce. There's a difference.
Okay. So if you're wearing a mask, you're not going to get helped, but somebody else is going to.
Yes, because it's going to curb what you spread.
Sure. And the mask is going to catch everything that, because I've seen that darkroom simulation when somebody sneezes with the COVID and how far it goes. Kind of creepy. It goes like sometimes 18, 20 feet.
It's 6 feet on average, and that's why I think they came up with the 6 feet with the social distance.
Masks reduce the risk of spreading the disease. Do you agree with that, Milton? Do you think that mask...
I don't think it spreads, but it,
Does it cut down on spreading of the virus? Yes or no?
yes.
Okay. Protects others from yourself.
Yes.
Right. So if you have to quarantine or wear a mask, you quarantine.
Yes.
That's the only way to really not infect anybody. Masks are not bulletproof.
And even in, like, you,
So we have masks that are not bulletproof, and we have tests that have 50% accuracy. How the hell are we going to get a handle on it?
talked about mixed messages being dangerous. The fact that you get taken a test and you and mix, that's more dangerous.
Right.
I'll give you credit, Keith, and it's an awful thing to take credit for, but your death toll's looking a lot more realistic than mine was originally. I came in around 70,000, and we're almost up past 100, going up.
And at the time we were at 15. It took 2 weeks maybe before it hit 20,000.
I'll give you credit.
Like
I'll give you credit, man. You've been on point with your predictions with this so far. Are we going to see a mass infection like because of Memorial Day? In 2 weeks, and people are going to say, "Oh shit, we're going to go back inside."
I think the states where Georgia and South Carolina.
You think that's
Florida,
coming?
That's coming. I mean, especially Florida. That's a state with a lot of cities with huge populations and.
Well, I'm going to tell you about Donald Trump, right? He threatened the governor of North Carolina, who was a Democrat, and he said he would pull the convention out of North Carolina if they make him social distance the crowd at the convention. He wants, a full in-person traditional convention, or he's pulling it out of North Carolina. August 28th. That is a full in-person convention, right? Means they can play basketball and hockey.
Okay.
Right? A convention crowd, if a basketball stadium holds 20,000 seat arena, with the convention they probably got 25,000 people there because they use the floor and they you know what I mean? There's more stuff going on, okay? Are we going to have 25,000 people sitting all over one another?
No.
August 28th.
No,
Trump says it's happening. Who's going to say no to him? He is the president of the United States.
Governor of North Carolina.
And then he's going to pull it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And you know where he's going to go? He's going to go right to Florida or Georgia. What's the difference?
All right. Well, yeah, you may have it if he goes somewhere else. You won't have it in North Carolina. It's going to be hard getting it in states other than...
But is that really a Democrat? He's hanging on by a very, very thin thread, that Democrat. You know?
Yeah, but North Carolina is a swing state.
In North Carolina, they say 63% of the people are in favor of wearing masks. North
Carolina is a swing state. The last 3 or 4 elections become one.
So do you think Trump will pull it from North Carolina if they don't let him have the convention he wants to?
If he takes enough polling that says it's a popular thing. If it turns out a wash that people are just if they look at it and say, look, this is crazy.
You think Donald Trump is going to make his second nomination speech, which will be one of the most watched in time? You think he's going to do it with a half-full arena? With this guy's ego? You are crazy. This guy, if he could have it his way, he'd have them 4 stacked up on top of one another.
Absolutely.
If he could have everything, he'd have 40,000 people in here.
Yeah, if he could.
If he could.
Again, this is a different times.
Yeah.
Going to take a poll or two before he makes a decision one way or the other. Because if they take a poll that basically says you're insane putting 20,000 people in any one setting, it doesn't matter whether it's August
28th. We're 2 months away from that. Do you think that is insane?
I'm not showing any signs. Seeing any signs anywhere where it's a good idea to have mass crowds, concerts.
The numbers we went through from Georgia today, They didn't like make it go for a little bit.
They're leveling off, but
I
they
wanna
also
see-
didn't fully open either.
I want to see. Oh, they were fully open. Their beaches were fully open. Listen to me. Fully open in term or fully open in reality. The fucking pictures I saw from Georgia look like Freaknik. You ever been to Freaknik in Georgia? You know what I'm talking about, Freaknik? Ask somebody who's lived in Georgia about Freaknik. It is absolute chaos, party down, central. African-American sororities and fraternities started it. It's an unbelievable party. It's a party like you couldn't possibly imagine. They don't have it anymore. That where they used to have has been gentrified. But it's he's going to want as many. He is not going to give a speech in a half-filled Charlotte Coliseum. He knows the dynamics of TV too well. Too well. You know, I'm telling you, I can't see him doing that. I can't. Because he's going to have to despise, he's going to have to hit the whole money. Because I think he's going to be playing from behind. What else do we got here? Okay. Negative thoughts about wearing a mask. Being contaminated. Breathing difficulties. And if you don't dispose of the mask with gloves on in a very studious, regimented way, which I do not, the limited times I've worn to go into a store, okay? I take it off with my hands with no gloves. I could contaminate more people. Am I correct?
Yep, because what's on the outside gets on your hands when you do it.
So why are you wearing a mask? Your girl. What?
That's part of it.
But you're carrying one in your back pocket now, and I gotta do it too.
Most businesses,
people look at me like I'm an alien when I walk in the store without a mask on. You know.
most businesses.
I'm like,
are
yo,
forcing
I
it,
didn't
so
do
you
it,
have
man. I didn't do it. I'm innocent. I did not do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Sorry, my mask broke. Sorry. Don't kill me.
I carry it with me because there's almost nowhere you can go where they're not going to force you anyway. There's nothing worse than, hey, go take a run up the street to Marzilli's. All right, go there.
You're very wise with your money. All right, and you're very generously giving me masks. The last 2 or 3 times I've asked you, do you carry one for me now?
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate that, bro. Oh, we gotta keep it real. Your girl's watching. Okay. Are we done? I thought this is the best Corona podcast we've had.
Great show.
How's the eyeballs? Okay.
All right.
Not so good. Little late.
Yeah.
Little late. This 8 o'clock thing ain't working. But hey, listen to me. You never know who's watching. That's the thing about playing sports. You never know who's in the gym. So you always go hard. I'm Hurricane. I go hard. My man Keith, he goes hard for you. My man Milton, we go hard for you. You know how we do it. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, the studio's going to be like you've ever seen it before. Trust me. Peace. We're out.
Podcast City.
Get on it.
Podcast City.
Get on it.